Warriors, DeFi regulation is coming fast and furious. What should you do? My name is Coach JB. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. In today's video, what we're going to learn about is DeFi regulation coming fast and furious. We knew this was on the horizon, but it's going to accelerate heavily in 2022. And I'll share with you at the end what I'm going to be doing. So let's go ahead and get this video kicked off. As we always share with you guys, if you want to join our private Warrior Academy, access to my portfolio, exit strategy, over 130 crypto courses. What is it? How to do it, and an example. 6 calls per week to support you in the cryptocurrency and financial education journey, and leadership, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, nutrition, everything you need to be successful. It's the exact program on how I got my shit together, a 120-day challenge. Click the description down below. If you want to get to know and trust us first, go to Facebook, our free Facebook group, and Discord down below. All right, Warriors, so there's so much news coming around DeFi. Now, you hear the word DeFi, but what is DeFi? Decentralized finance. Okay. Fintech was a big word that came out when I was in banking school, CBA Executive Banking School. If you don't know who I am, I'm Coach JV. I am a coach for cryptocurrency mindset, one of the top coaches in the world, top podcast host, book author, all that stuff. But I used to be a banker for 12 years, and we were talking about fintech 9 years ago. Fintech is financial technology. So what's happening is banks are being completely disrupted right now due to financial technology and DeFi. DeFi is decentralized finance. Now, here's what we do know, though, is human beings are creatures of habit. They trust big institutions. We've been bred into that system for a very long time. So to think that the retail, the average everyday sheep, the masses are going to come rushing into this right away is be foolish. They are going to come, though. This is the exciting part about all this news that's flooding people out of the market right now. It's dropping prices, so it's a great time to buy. And number 2 is that when the government says it's safe, they will trust their government, just like they trust financial advisors that are certified by the government. Just like most of the products and services they use are certified by the government that manipulates them and keeps them poor. Okay. That's the good news. Okay. That's a positive in all of this. When the regulation does get settled and there is some sort of guidelines, who do they know, like, and trust? Their government. So when the government, that's your price appreciation, then the masses come flooding in. So we got some news yesterday, January 18th. United Kingdom eyes broader crypto and DeFi regulation. Many people predicted in 2022 to be the year of cryptocurrency regulation. However, it looks like that will happen sooner than later. Regulators in Britain plan to regulate decentralized finance and crypto industry in general. So they're already starting to regulate in different countries, Warriors. And what's happening right now in America is we have the biggest case in cryptocurrency history, SEC versus Ripple. That's why I'm so unbelievably bullish on Ripple. Number 1, it goes last in a bull run. And remember, bull runs do not end in fear. They end in euphoria. So I do not believe we're in the bear market. I took that from Bearable Bull. Bear markets do not start in fear. They start in euphoria. So all of a sudden it's going to go parabolic. The elites will take their money and then they'll collapse the market. And then we have plenty of time to buy the dip. Okay. So we're going to watch this video. The biggest narrative, but this is on January 10th, 2020, but it's Gary Gensler talking about crypto regulation. Now, why did they bring Gary Gensler in? Why did Jay Clayton leave right after the SEC lawsuit against Ripple to go consult for a cryptocurrency fund? Bill Hinman consults for a cryptocurrency fund. The head of the OCC went to go work for Binance, who came from Coinbase, the head legal counsel. They're just moving the chess pieces around so they can regulate crypto. They knew this was coming a long time ago. Spiritually, whether it's cycles, whatever it is, study Ray Dalio, study spiritual leaders. This was coming, Warriors. This was coming. There's 3 things. There's economic change, there's climate change, and there's conflict. Those 3 things are cyclic things that happen in history, and we hit all 3 as we went into 2020. So yes, massive change is coming, whether you believe it or not. So if you're spiritual, banking, whatever, the cool thing is every single group that argues together all have some sort of common thread that massive changes are coming. So let's listen to what Gary Gensler has to say about regulation in regards to what's happening in America.
A pretty important distinction and maybe a new way of thinking of these markets. This is kind of a new broad framework that would open the way for the SEC to maybe have a lot more say over a lot of arenas. And you start thinking about all the different ways investors, I mean, I'm just going back a year to where we were a year ago at this point. It was SPACs that were the huge rage that everybody was kind of interested in, and the new way of taking a company public through these acquisition vehicles. And what you're talking about is making sure that you are looking at broad protections, because there are so many retail investors that are maybe investing in a different way than they had in the past. Is that kind of what we're listening to here? This sounds like a fairly important statement.
It is important. Part of it's new and part of it's old. It's like that old saying about when one gets married. So the new part is the new technology, whether it's crypto tokens, whether it's special purpose acquisition companies or SPACs. These are something new. There are new ways to trade on the markets through brokerage apps and robo-advisors and that's what's new. But what's kind of old and really important is this basic idea that if you raise money from the public and the public's thinking about a profit, you've got to give them basic disclosures and everything. And that goes back to the 1930s. It goes back to when the Supreme Court defined this test in 1946. That's the important public policy thing that we should not be neutral to. And then the technologies come along and they promote innovation, whether it's crypto, whether it's a new form of doing initial public offerings through these SPACs. That's exciting. Our role at the SEC is to ensure that the public, still gets the basic protections.
Okay, so they're just going to lean on that, Warriors, that they're here to protect the public. Now, let's pretend they're here to protect the public. Let's pretend that what he's saying is 100% outstanding. He's a good citizen, and he just wants to protect the public, okay? So what he's saying is we have all this brand. Let's decode that. We have all this brand new innovation coming in, okay? Now, this innovation isn't just the internet. It's innovation that literally has a systemic impact on our economic system. Let me repeat that. This isn't just the internet. This is a technology change and new innovation that literally has a systemic ability to collapse the economic system. So imagine being in their position. Let's put ourselves in their shoes for just a moment. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes, but imagine you're sitting here and you have this brand new way of doing money. Bartering is coming back, peer to peer. Okay. Before the Roman collapse, before they were bartering, the system was amazing. It was amazing. People were prospering. And then as soon as the government got involved in the monetary system and the coins and clipping coins, which is debasement of currency, everything collapsed. So they know they're in a Roman type situation, Roman days type situation. So they're trying to figure out how to navigate this because they know the people have the ability to be sovereign in their own banks. That's what DeFi is, decentralized finance. But here's the advantage they have right now, Warriors. We're a bunch of sheep. And the reason why is because they have this technology where they can steer the narrative very, very quickly. Very quickly. Before, hear ye in 1929, the economy is collapsing. It was like the telephone game. So you only believed the people in elite positions. Now you have all these journalists like me that are just coming up with information. They're diving deep into the internet and bringing you information on the side. Think about that. Some of us YouTubers are getting more views than CNN and Fox on their YouTube channels. So they know that. They understand that. So what do? They keep you trapped through your food system, your medical system, your education system. They make sure that Burger King gives Bitcoin rewards for 5. They keep you, if your stomach's jacked up, your brain is jacked up, you're not going to think correctly. So they know that they can control the system. Whoever controls the money, controls the information, controls the people. So let's dive a little bit deeper. So cryptocurrency regulation in 2022, the year of change. This is what we're talking about here in the United Kingdom. They know that cryptocurrency is changing dramatically. It's the year of regulation wars. That's why you're seeing so much sideways action. There's so much fear that crypto is going to collapse to zero. And at the end, remember, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing and how my mindset works on this. Well, they had the IMF reported. So I love to go read the actual reports, not just the news. So if you go here, I'd highly recommend you save the IMF on your browser. Financial stability risk contained so far, but despite the improvements, vulnerability remains to elevate in some sectors. So they do these really deep dive financial. I mean, these are deep dive reports that they're doing, Warriors. So we're going to go to chapter 2 here. And we're just going to read a couple lines. It says the crypto ecosystem continues its rapid growth, presenting both, remember, this is the IMF, International Monetary Fund, presents both opportunities and challenges. This chapter discusses the latest developments and financial stability challenges posed by crypto ecosystems with a focus on emerging market and developing economies. Crypto assets come in different flavors and flavors, that's a weird word, and evolve to meet a varied needs for speculative investments, store of value, currency conversion, and payments. Decentralized finance, there it again, is gaining momentum by offering new services to users. Actually, we'll read this line too. Financial stability risks are not yet systemic. What did I just say? But risk should be closely monitored, given the global implications and the inadequate operational and regulatory framework for most jurisdictions. Whereas this is the year of regulation. That's why you're going to see a lot of sideways action. And again, I'm going to share with you what I'm doing and why I think this is the greatest time in human history. So let's watch this video from the BIS. Now the IMF, International Monetary Fund, the BIS, Bank of International Settlements. Okay, they're talking heavily about a CBDC and interoperability between all countries. Okay. Now, the BIS, the BIS, the IMF, and the World Economic Forum I'm obsessed with following their narratives because they're the ones that direct the economy. So let's watch this video on, again, decentralized finance and the decentralized illusion.
Decentralized finance, or DeFi in short, is a fast-growing part of the crypto financial system with large innovative potential, but also with risk that need to be addressed. It refers to financial applications run by smart contracts on a blockchain. The DeFi ecosystem revolves around two elements. The first is automated protocols on blockchains for trading, lending, and investing in crypto assets. The recent boom of crypto assets is mainly driven by activity on these DeFi platforms. The second element of the DeFi ecosystem is stablecoins. These are crypto assets that aim to have fixed face value vis-a-vis fiat currencies. The rising use of stablecoins has gone hand in hand with the increasing size of DeFi capital pools.
Although DeFi's main vision is to be decentralized, providing financial services without intermediaries, full decentralization in DeFi is illusory. First, it is impossible for firms to devise contracts that can cover all possible future business needs. Normally, centralization allows firms to deal with this so-called contract incompleteness. Similarly, there is
So to me, that statement right there is like, oh shit. Oh shit. Like he says, illusionary. So they're giving you that it's illusionary. We can operate on DeFi, Warriors. We could transact. I'm doing a transaction this weekend, and the person's like, you just send me Bitcoin. Think about that. I can just send Bitcoin to the person. I could just transact. I'm not going to send any Bitcoin. But does that make sense, Warriors? It is not illusionary. This is facts, figures, numbers, logic.
It's an algorithm incompleteness in DeFi, which means centralized governance structures are needed. Second, the blockchain consensus mechanism favors the concentration of decision-making power in a few large coin holders or validators. From a financial stability perspective,
Did you hear what he just said? So what this does is it holds the power in a few large coin holders. What the hell is the government? What the hell is the elites? Like, think about the same thing. The 1% is the 1%, will always be the 1%. The fact is, Jim Rohn says, if you spread $1 million out to every single human being on earth, guess what? It's going to end up in the same people's hands because nobody changes their subconscious mind. That's what I teach.
the main vulnerabilities of DeFi relate to investors' high leverage, liquidity mismatches, the lack of shock absorbing capacity, and the built-in connectedness of the ecosystem. It is important to contain such issues before this ecosystem attains systemic importance. Regulatory safeguards would help ensure the innovative potential of DeFi brings overall benefits to finance.
Okay. So, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I don't know if I messed up my mic. Yeah, so we know, I mean, regulation. They know it's here to stay. Okay, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it. Now we're in the regulation stage, Wars. That's why you're seeing major sideways action. Okay, so let's talk about what is JV doing. So number one, I've always had the same plan. I've always been fundamental investor in cryptocurrency. I've always bought cryptocurrencies besides 10. Let's take the 10% of my portfolio out that I buy shit coins with, which I've done very well with that. Okay. That's like, it's like I call it my casino. I gamble with that. So we'll take out the 10%. Everything else in my portfolio, which you can get in the Warrior Academy, click the link down below, to me is fundamental cryptocurrencies that have real world solve and applications that are being applied right now within the current financial ecosystem or supply chain management system or some type of technology system that is going to be changing the world. Okay. Now, will I be wrong on some of them? Probably. But will I be right on some that will change my financial future? Absolutely. So things like this, bank draw to possibilities on Ethereum blockchain. People that say Ethereum is going to go to zero, I just ignore them. I literally ignore them because they have no idea how deep Ethereum is in the banking system. Ethereum is going nowhere. Why do you think these funds are putting millions, multi-millions into Ethereum? Think about that, words. They are heavily connected to JP Morgan, the BSN. They're connected all over the world, Warriors. Ethereum is going to be here. XRP is going to be here. XLM will be here. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. It will be a store of value, Warriors. The top, this is what I want to talk about. I am holding strong and I'm a fundamental investor. I don't care if it completely collapses to 30% of its value in the next 5 years, Warriors. I am not flinching. So what I do is I focus on the top cryptocurrencies because the truth is, with this regulation, this is where I want to give you the warning, is I believe that 99% of cryptos are going to get wiped out. Now, when I say that, freaks people out, but there's thousands. If you go on here, there's thousands and thousands. I think, don't quote me on this, I think there's 8,000 to 10,000 cryptocurrencies. So when you say 99%, that leaves quite a bit of cryptocurrencies. And if you look at the ones in the top 100, you know, you look at some of these are shit coins, but you look at most of these XR. So you look at the top 10 here, okay? Bitcoin, store of value. Ethereum, number 2. It's everybody's like, well, even if Ethereum gets flipped, it's so deep in the system. Tether is USD. They're moving the freaking casino from the, you know, the normal money printing to Tether, basically. BNB, you got Cardano, ADA, one of my biggest holdings as well. USD coin, a stable coin. Okay. They know that they're looking at stable coins. Jerome Powell said stable coins and the CBDC can coexist. Solana, okay. XRP, one of my biggest holdings. Terra Luna, Polkadot, Dogecoin, shitcoin, but I hold the shitcoin and I've done very well off it. Shiba, just because the pure social media, that's how powerful social media is. I don't know if I'm not a Shiba. I don't pump Shiba, none of that bullshit, because I don't think it has any utility, zero utility. But do I have some? It's in that 10%. Crypto.com. Barrier to entry. This is a utility. This has massive amounts of utility, Warriors. So these are, I focus on the ones in the top 100, right? Algorand, we talked about Algorand yesterday. So I ain't going nowhere, Warriors. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going anywhere. XLM, one of my favorite cryptocurrencies as well. I'm stacking fundamental cryptocurrencies that I believe are going to change the world. And I'm not letting anything, not you, not my mom, not my dad, not the government, nobody FUD me out of these words. So I stay focused, I stay diligent, I stay processed, I keep my head above the water, and I teach my warriors to be fundamental, to work on their gut, their mind, and get their shit together in the greatest time in human history. So that's all I got for you today, warriors. Have a blessed day. It's going to be a great day today. Remember, you are powerful, you are strong, you are worthy, you are abundant. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. If you need help, click the description down below. Join our 120-day challenge. You can launch at any time, and we will support you. Let's go.